Gwen, what's up?
Not much. What's up with you, man?
I feel like I'm about to sneeze, which is the perfect way to start the show.
Me too.
Um, so for everyone out there watching tonight, we have a great show for you, but please forgive me if I get a little bit of brain fog going on. I'm not feeling the greatest. Think I'm starting to come down with some kind of sickness. Gwen probably gave it through me through the freaking podcast.
Because I've
But
been
uh
sick. Yep.
but we got an amazing show lined up for you tonight. And so Gwen, how's your week been?
Pretty good. I have something coming up Friday. I'm pretty excited about, and that's at the end of the week. But it's been a pretty good week.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. So tonight, guys, we have a guest coming on who has way more experience than I do researching and investigating the paranormal. He's an author, 18 books so far penned. When I say so far, I assume he's got more on the way. We're touching to that in later in the show. And don't get me wrong, it's not just him. His counterpart, Arlene Nicholson, helps with this whole project.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Arlene's feeling a little under the weather. She's not going to be able to join us tonight. But you know what? Either way, it's going to be a fantastic show. I'm looking forward to having him on. So without further ado, let's welcome to the Paranormal Unveiled family, Mr. Thomas D'Agostino.
Good evening. Hi.
Hey.
Good evening, Thomas. How are you?
Good, good. It's great. I'm really glad to be on. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh, I have been looking forward to it since you said yes. Like, you have no idea. I was over here kind of fanboying. I'm not going to lie.
I thanks. I mean, we planned this in October, and I had it like,
Yeah.
wow,
Hey, Lauren. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Morgan. I see you guys down there. So first and foremost, Tom, I want to start off with, you've got 44 years. Is that you by yourself or collectively with Arlene, 44 years experience in the paranormal?
just me by myself.
Mhm.
That is crazy. I wouldn't have pegged you for a day over 40.
I use oil of old age.
So in your time of doing this, like 44 years, that is insane to me. But I have to say, I appreciate the work that you do. So what sparked the interest originally to get you into doing this kind of field work?
Well, actually, I grew up in a haunted house, and I was always into it, and I was always into the fact that ghosts and the mystery behind it, the fact that no one really knows. But in 1982, when I was in college, I was living in a house. We lasted like 6 days. And so many things happened. I had to leave because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't study. Every of those 6 days, something really wild happened. Like we saw an apparition. You'd hear what sounded like the kitchen table being thrown over, and you go running in the kitchen. There's nothing there. Something came running up the stairs one night and blew right by us. And I was there with my friend and my sister and her boyfriend, and it just came bolting up the stairs right in front of us, and just a wind blew by us, that kind of stuff. So it was like, wow. After that, I started studying in college. I started studying all kinds of sciences, social sciences, physical sciences, esoterical sciences, meteorology, and things like this in order to like perhaps find out why or how this happens.
Fair, fair. And you ultimately got your degree in political science, correct?
Yeah, political
So,
science, business management, and music.
man, is there anything you don't do? So,
I don't clean the house. No, I'm just kidding.
so basically, you were living in this place when you were younger, and you were having all these experiences. It kind of sounded like to me you were having a mixture of poltergeist phenomena with phantom sounds.
Yeah, exactly. It was some of it may have been residual and some was intelligent, and but it was like really it was really it was a big house too, so it was like wow. At first we thought someone was breaking in and partying downstairs the first few nights, but then
It
I
was
put
me.
tile on the floor and everything, and you'd hear furniture moving, but the next thing nothing was moved, no footprints, no nothing. The doors were all locked from the inside.
That is wild.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's interesting.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Lee. I saw you guys down there. Sorry, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Like this sneeze is just like building up back here and it won't go away.
D thing, man.
So, I know that you work with Arlene, and so um, she is a professional photographer by trade, correct?
Right, yeah.
So I also know she has further knowledge into like marketing and fundraising. So
Yes.
working with her doing the photography thing, right? Because my sister is a professional photographer herself. And so for me, I find it having someone when you're involved in this field that understands photography better than you do as an asset. So how does that process work with her whenever she's taking these photographs and stuff? Does it make it easier for her to look at a photograph and say, no, this probably isn't paranormal, I think this is what this is, and she can explain it?
Yeah, she can actually peg that right away. She she's been doing photography forever, right? We've known each other for 41 years,
Mhm.
and we've been married now for 25. So uh, it- she would take pictures of the most beautiful things during like the golden hours and all this stuff, and they come out so incredible. And then people give her pictures. She goes, "Oh no, that's a light that probably bounced off the left side of a wall near a lamp or something." And they go, "Oh, how'd you
Love
know
that.
that?"
So
Yeah.
so it's definitely an asset with the way you guys work together. As far as so would you consider yourself as an investigator that uses like modern techniques or the old school style, or do you do like a nice balance of both?
We actually do both because we use dowsing rods and pendulum mats. And when Arlene actually, when we're doing investigations, she actually uses tarot cards to help field questions and get the energy inside the room. And we've been doing that, wow, for since 25 years. I think people are just starting to do it now, but we've always done it right from the start.
Excuse me. Yeah, I've dabbled in tarot in the past. Never got really good at it, to be honest. I don't believe I have the ability to be able to read them. But my girlfriend Morgan, she does oracle cards, which are similar, but they're not the same.
Mm.
Um, so do you feel like having that, I guess you could say, technique in your arsenal is definitely a help when you go into these places and you're doing these events and stuff?
Yeah, actually, it's proven to be almost infallible. It's like we one time we were doing an investigation of the Ramtail factory, a place in Foster, Rhode Island, and she pulls a card and she goes, "Who is the woman in charge of finances?" And later we got an EVP that said Aura. And when I looked it up, when one of the Potters died, only Potter, his wife Aura Potter became ran the factory, became the owner of the factory. And then we've had stuff like different cards with different names and things. And in other words, it's like she'll pull a card, or when we do the investigation dinner, someone will pull a card and she'll read it, and we'll find out later, or we'll find out then through an EVP or a voice, on the spirit box, that whatever's happening, the card is pertinent to. And it's also a lot better than trying to just say, "Hey, do you like pizza?" you know.
I have
That's true.
never I have never asked a spirit that question, but I can promise you this time, next investigation I go on, that is a question I am asking.
You never know.
You really don't. Pizza's been around for quite a while, right?
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, heck yeah.
So you have this degree in political science, I believe from Rhode Island College, correct?
Yes.
So for those out there, I myself am not too familiar with it. What exactly is political science?
Political science is what you would study if you want to go into law, become a lawyer, a politician, any kind of political idea. Like some people have studied it and become political cartoonists and things like that. So it's just I guess when you uh, are studying when you before law, pre-law, and all that. So it gets you to know all about what's going on, government, infrastructures, and other things like that are part of our society.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because I never looked too much into it. But that is really interesting because I was gonna ask and you already answered my question, so I'm just gonna backtrack because I was gonna my follow up for that was gonna be how did you go from political science to the paranormal? But you already answered that. You already had the interest. So
Mhm.
um, ooh, excuse me. So you guys have been to a lot of places, over 2,000 locations.
Yeah.
So in your travels, has there ever been a location that kind of made you feel so nervous that you were, I guess you could say, leery of going back to that location again?
There are several places where we've actually felt a little uneasy or nervous, but not enough to not go back, but definitely enough to want to go back some more to see if it happens again.
Interesting. So could you describe like maybe one of the experiences that you had at one of those locations, if you don't mind?
Yeah, we were doing an old factory, um, and a friend of mine. he had a storage facility down in the bottom of it, and I taught in a little music store thing. And he said, "Yeah, you want to go investigate it upstairs on the third floor? They say weird stuff happens. No one will go up there." So we're investigating the whole factory, and it's kind of uneasy. You're in this big old factory at like 10 o'clock at night. No one else is in there. The place is locked up, and one portion of it is a coffin factory, a casket maker factory. And we hear these noises on the third floor. So we go, let's go up there. On the third floor, there's nothing there. There's no electricity. There's just nothing there. It's where if there were machines there, they're long gone. We get up there and we ask if somebody could show themselves, and it just slamming started happening all around us, as if like machines were running, or someone was like slamming giant chains all around us. But this place is the size of a gymnasium up there, and it was unbelievable. It was very loud. When we put the recorder in the corner, my friend put the recorder down in the corner, and we went back downstairs. We went to retrieve it. Something threw something at him.
Oh, wow.
That's always fun.
Hey,
So,
Danny
yeah.
Perez is saying the meal.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, when you asked the question, he said the meal. So I don't know if they went there together, maybe.
Together, the
Yeah,
meal.
did you go with Danny Perez to a meal?
Oh, we go to dining with the dining. Yeah, Dining with the Dead. We do a special thing called Dining with the Dead 1031, where it's an interactive paranormal investigation dinner events where the people who come become the investigators, and they help us out. Yeah, we've had a lot of stuff happen with them that was pretty freaky. You know,
Yeah, he's
and
saying that's the factory. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and they're always great to work with because they're so good at it. They're so knowledgeable, and they have wonderful, incredible techniques. You know.
Oh, they're two of my favorite people to investigate with. I'll tell you that right now. Like I love hanging out with them, just talking with them. Danny's a very good friend of mine. He's one of the few people I actually consider a friend. So he's amazing. And you got way ahead of me there, because one of my last questions was I wanted to talk about the Dining with the Dead thing. But that's okay. We'll touch back on it. So
Yeah.
what would be your favorite technique, like when you go into these locations as far as investigating? I know everyone has their own thing that they like to do. Some people like to use the old school baby powder technique, some like to use the voice recorders, some like to use the bleepy bloopy lights, which I do enjoy some bleepy bloopy lights. But so do you have a favorite technique?
Yeah, I bring a shotgun.
Okay.
No,
I've never heard that one before.
actually, the best thing, I mean, you can have, I do have all the equipment, and I like it. I love the spirit box, but nothing beats a recorder.
True.
And what we use is we do use digital recorders. We have really nice ones, but I also have old 1960s reel-to-reel recorders.
Oh, I'm jealous.
We got 4 of them, and those, because they are the best still medium of recording mankind has ever invented. So, you know, that's what we make sure we always have those on hand.
Yeah, no, that makes me jealous. I'm a collector of antique cameras. So when I hear that someone has an antique recorder, I'm like, oh, I know it's not a camera, but I want it.
You've got other antique stuff too, right?
Nate? Us?
Who, me? Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, I collect antique recorders. So like, not recorders. He got me thinking about that reel to reel. Sorry, but I collect antique cameras. Like I have a 1967 Bell and Howell 8mm that's in mint condition. I love that camera. I actually have a camera that takes floppy disks for the memory.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, mine happens to be the first edition Sony Malvakia.
Okay.
And you can hold a whole 6 pictures on that floppy disk.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had something like that. Someone gave me a long time ago. I don't even know what happened to it. I think the cat ate it or something. Yeah.
And, you think the cat ate it?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It disappeared in this. We live in a mausoleum over here. It's like just it's all antiques. Everything is antique in the house. And
that is awesome.
You just like the place is wicked haunted, and everyone knows it. Everyone in town actually knows it. Things disappear, then we'll find them like months later in the closet somewhere, stuffed behind something where you never put it.
You gotta love displacement of objects when things, you know, you set something down somewhere and you go for it and it's gone.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the workers, when they were redoing this house, they quit because of that. They'd put like they hammer down, they'd bend over to grab some nails or something. And one guy did that. He put it on the windowsill. We have the big 6-foot windows with the giant 2-foot windowsills.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he stood back up. All he did is just bend down to grab some nails. He stood back up and the hammer was gone and he quit.
I got
Another
you, Lauren.
guy-
So Lauren Perez told me to ask you about the clocks.
Oh, clocks. God, yeah. We I collect and rebuild antique clocks.
Oh, wow.
And we have presently over almost 50 clocks in the house. And there's 20 of them that you have to wind, and they go off on the quarter hour, the hour, and the half hour. So yeah, and there's I think there's 3 or 4 of them in this room right now. I'm in the library, and they're just everywhere.
That's insane. See, like you tinker with so much because I also know that you make homemade instruments, like from the medieval and Renaissance era.
Yeah, exactly.
So what got you into that hobby?
Because I loved the old instruments. I love the way they sound. And hang on a second.
I'd love to see an example if you have one handy.
This is
yeah.
a lute.
Oh,
that I
that's
built.
awesome.
And you can see the headstock. And I always wanted to play the ancient instruments because of the fact that I love, the sounds of them and the old-fashioned music. And I studied music in college. I studied classical, guitar in college. And so I was really into these old Renaissance and medieval instruments and how they sounded and how they were played and that kind of thing. So I started building them because you couldn't find them. And I build my own acoustic, 7-string acoustic guitar, looks like a lute. I build my own electrics because I can't find what I want from other guitars, things like that.
That's a really cool and unique hobby, not just hobby, but skill. Because
this one I built with the same tools that they would have used back in 1510.
Oh, so you did it legit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is
power tools.
That is
How long
awesome.
did it take you to build that?
About 3 months.
Okay.
I mean, you know what? 3 months isn't bad because it looks amazing.
Yeah, you got to bend each slat around the form. Wet it and bend it, and then wait for that one to harden and dry. Then you attach the next one and the next one for the back, and then the front. I carved that piece that this is actually carved out of the wood. This green thing, that's an actual rosette carved right out of the front, not like glued in.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is fantastic. So
Yeah.
do you build these just for yourself, or do you build them to sell, or?
No, I build them just for myself. I mean, there are people always asking me, like my brother wanted me to build him an electric because I built an electric using special wood, like back from Leo Fender when he first started. He was using pine for his bodies because they were resonant, but it's too soft, so obviously dents easy. And my brother plays guitar; he's like a virtuoso, and he picked it up. He wanted to try it, and he goes, "Can you build me one?" Because it just sustains forever. So that kind of thing. If someone really wants something, I will, but mostly just for myself.
I love that. I love that. See, the closest thing that I have to an antique, I would say 2 things. One is I have a old school theater projector from like 1934.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's still got the original case. It's got the extra reel in case you lose the original. With the secondary reel, it still has the original leather pulleys.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And it plugs in, and you can fire it up, and it works.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It smells absolutely horrid because of all the dust, but it
Oh,
works.
yeah.
And then downstairs in our hallway, we actually have a piano that belonged to a Boston Red Sox player from 1910.
Oh, wow.
We're actually trying to get rid of that. It takes up too much room.
Yeah, those things are big. I know. I had a giant one before and got rid of it and then people are always asking me, "Hey, you want a piano?" Nope. I don't even play piano well. It's one of the instruments I just don't play that well.
But see, I used to play electric guitar, so I do love me a good guitar. But piano, I could play probably Mary Had a Little Lamb. And that's about the extent of my piano knowledge. That's far as you're getting.
whenever I start, people say, "Can you play Over the Hills and Far Away?" And I'm like, "Okay." And they go, "Good. Play Over the Hills and Far Away. Get out of here."
That is awesome. So would you play an electric guitar? Did you ever play some Iron Maiden?
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. I play. Yeah, I've been in a million bands, including original bands. I've been signed to record labels and all that stuff. But
Oh, I didn't know
um,
that.
yeah, those are Black and Blue Records, and it was a actually hardcore punk label.
Nice.
Do you have an
Nice.
Yeah.
album out anywhere?
Yeah, I worked in the studio with the several of the bands, and then I was with the band called Algae and Playpen, and the guy dressed up like a big baby in a diaper, like
That's awesome.
yeah, and it was pretty cool. It was it was a theme thing. It was weird, but it was fun. You
But
can
let's
look
be
up Black
honest.
and Blue Records, you'll see them.
Well, when it comes to music and bands, like whenever it comes to a certain theme, it always gets a little bit strange. Like look at Guar, for example.
Yeah.
Those guys are wow, beyond. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've reached out to the lead singer to have him on my show, but I want him on my show in costume. But
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
he
they've
is
been
out.
around for a while. Ugh.
Believe it or
They've
not, they're
been-
still doing music.
Oh yeah, they're still touring. They're touring now.
Yeah, I can't wait. I heard that Iron Maiden's gonna start touring again. I so want to see Iron Maiden once before I die.
Really? I didn't know that
Yes.
at all.
I so want to see them once before I die. I had an opportunity 6 years ago and ended up not being able to make it due to illness. And my buddy had bought me a ticket to go with him and everything.
Wow. Wow.
Missed out opportunity, but it happened. So with you building these instruments from that time era, I'm gonna have to ask more of a curiosity. Do you ever go to Renaissance fairs and show them off or anything like that?
Oh, we go, but I don't show them off. Because we go full dressed up though, because I also collect swords. So I've been a big
A
collection
lovely
of old
good sword.
yeah, and my wife and I and all our friends, we all get dressed up, and there's one in Connecticut here that's about 40 minutes away, and there's the one in Carver, Mass. My sister used to actually work there, and so I used to get free tickets all the time to go there.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, no, I know,
Yeah,
and
I have
yeah,
never, I've not personally been to a Renaissance fair. They have one here in New Hampshire every year, and I've always been curious. Like, so from you going to a few of them over your lifetime, like, what's the atmosphere like when you go to those?
it's really cool. A lot of people, some people dress up. Of course, the actors and everything are dressed up, and they have all the vendors and all the food and all the music going on, and it's just a kind of a really nice experience and a different, almost like getting away from society for a while, and everyone's just having a good time, and it's a bit an experience no matter what. There's some people I knew who went like during King Richard's Fair goes for like September to the end of October. They'd be going every weekend.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
because
don't.
it's just so fun. It's kind of interesting, because you got all the jugglers and the stage acts and the musicians and the jousting and all kinds of stuff. So it's a very full day, and you got to get there early if you're going to see everything. That's for sure.
I can tell
And
you,
we
I tried to do the juggling thing once, and that's the last time I ever touched a bowling pin. Those things do not feel good when they hit you in the head.
No, I did tennis balls because of that reason.
I should have
Hey.
started with something other than the bowling pins, but that's what I saw at the
Yeah,
circus. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I've been
Those
to two and they were fun to go to. And the turkey legs, you would like that, Nate. The big turkey legs.
Oh, I mean, I'm not a fan of turkey, but I do enjoy like a smoked turkey. If it's smoked turkey, then I tear it up.
yeah, they slow cook it over like a real fire and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Oh, so like real fire rotisserie style.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm a huge cook. Like I love firing up my smoker, throwing things in there for like 10 or 12 hours, just letting it slow cook, and I love smoking. That
Oh, that's
sounded really
cool.
bad.
Yeah, I don't have the patience.
So sometimes you don't have to have the patience. Like me, I went out and bought a pellet fed smoker. All I have to do is go out once an hour, fill up the water bucket, put the water bucket back in, close it up, walk away.
Oh, okay.
Zero
Well,
patients involved.
That would be good.
yeah, it
So,
sounds like fun.
so we touched on this earlier about the 2,000 locations, or a little bit over 2,000 locations you guys have been to, doing your investigating and researching. And you told us, you had a few that you were kind of not really apprehensive to go back to, but that you kind of had that feeling. Is there a location that you've been to that you can recall in your time that you would pick as your favorite place that you've been?
Actually, yeah. Our favorite place, Arlene and I both, we it's the only book we actually wrote about that just one place, and it's called Ramtail. It's the Ramtail factory in village ruins in the woods in Foster, Rhode Island. And it was a little factory with a small village, and actually there were 3 deaths there, 2 suicides, and one guy drank himself to death. And
Ooh.
it's haunted by the ghost of one of the owners, one of the ghosts anyway. The other is one other guy who killed himself in the factory. And then just down the river a bit is the ghost of Betsy Grayson, who drowned there in 1860. So it's nothing left but ruins. But we know every bit about it, and we know that the fact that the night before, Peleg Walker, who was one of the guys who haunts the place, before he died, all the holdings were signed over to the other owners of the factory, but he wasn't there, and it was done at 1:15 in the morning in 1822, which by that time there was only candlelight. You didn't have caffeine until 1853. So it was a little suspect. I looked it up and everything. Then the next day, day and a half later, actually, is when they found him dead.
Oh,
in the factory.
Yeah, that does sound suspect.
And so back then, a lot of people nowadays in the modern era, they hear dying of consumption and they think consumption of alcohol. But back in that time frame, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, consumption would have been tuberculosis.
Yes, exactly. And we have a book, A History of New England Vampires, that we wrote, and it does tell about all that and gives a lot of the cases that were actually documented of people digging up their loved ones and performing exorcisms on them to try and cure this consumption, which they thought was happening supernaturally. The ghost of a person who has died of tuberculosis or consumption was coming out of the grave and feeding on the other family members, giving them consumption and having catch it, and then they would pass it, and they too would become a vampire. They didn't call it vampire back then, though.
I hear clocks.
I heard clocks as well.
Yeah, that's one of them. I think there's 2 more that, but
I was looking at your book list. I mean, that's impressive, really. 18 books. The one about pirates, the pirate ghosts and phantom ships. How did that come about? Because that looks a little bit different than some of the stuff you do.
That was because we lived in Rhode Island. Arlene and I were born and raised in Rhode Island before moving to Connecticut, and Rhode Island is the ocean state.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much coastline. So naturally, we're very and it's New England also, which is a coastal region, and so we were always into that kind of stuff, and the old ships and the legends and the stories and the mysteries of all the coasts and the ghosts and the ships and the pirates, and the largest hanging of pirates took place in Newport.
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing. So it was just one thing we're thinking, we should do a book on that. I don't know if anyone really has such a long book on that tells so much,
Not to my knowledge, no.
That's why it kind of stuck out to me, but that's awesome. Have you guys investigated on one of the old ships that you can tour and stuff like that?
Yeah, actually, we went on the Charles Morgan, which is the last whaling ship. It was built in 1820. It's the last wooden whaling ship left in the world.
Wow.
And it's at Mystic Seaport at the time, and they let us go on it. They let us go everywhere that no one else is allowed to go, and do an investigation on it and everything. And it was kind of fun. Nothing happened, but it was a really cool experience to see how these people spend years on these. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to my stateroom now or something. They'd be sleeping on a bunk on the side of the wall.
Yeah, no, it's insane, because I've done 2 ships in my time. Number one was I got the opportunity, and it's a very, very rare one, to do the USS Constitution.
Oh yeah.
And that place is so amazing. It's the oldest still commissioned Navy ship in the United States. And I got to do the USS Salem. And when you walk through the Constitution and then you walk through the Salem, and you're like, wow, these are so different.
Yeah.
Which of course, one's, you know, a wooden battleship. One technically is considered a heavy cruiser. It's not technically a battleship, which would be the Salem. And when you walk through them and you see the technological advances, you're like, you know what? You walk onto the Salem and you're like, yeah, I could live here. Although I get lost because everything freaking looks the same.
Yeah.
Whereas you go onto the Constitution and you got that open hull with all of the hammocks hanging, and it's so different.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I went on a few other ships like that, and we went aboard a couple of other ships too, where during the time, and they were all, yeah, it's a huge difference. And we've even been in a submarine, which I don't really care for, but
I have not been on a submarine, but I've heard it's extremely cramped quarters.
Yeah, it is. You're in a tube. I mean, what the heck?
Hello, kitty.
I toured one in Charleston, and I do not remember which one it was, but it was. I was like, oh, I think I need to get out of here. So yeah, but it was interesting.
But since we're on the topic of ships, and you know, I live in New Hampshire, and you write about the whole haunted lore of New England. What can you tell us about Ocean-born Mary?
Ocean-born Mary. Jeremy Dentremont actually wrote a really good book on that. Ocean-born Mary was born at sea, and then you get the legend of the pirate, Don Pedro, and when they got to where they got, they were going to go to Philadelphia. They ended up in Henniker.
Yes.
And when her husband died, the legend goes, Don Pedro had retired as a captain, and he invited her to take care of him and all this. And they did have the somewhere, I know you've probably seen it if you've been to the Historical Society, they have a piece of the brocade wedding dress and everything.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. And then they have the Ocean-born Mary house, which she never even saw in her life. Never mind, live there. But that was the guy, what's his name? Oh God, I forgot his name. Something, it's a long name anyway. Roy August something. Yeah, he made up that story to make money.
Yes.
It's so funny. He'd like rent people shovels for 25 cents to go dig for the treasure in the backyard.
I was just about to say that there was rumor of a treasure in the backyard that was supposedly buried.
Yeah, if there was there, I wouldn't be renting shovels for 25 cents. I'd be a backhoe back there and pull the whole thing up.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. And let me tell you, for anyone out there who lives in New Hampshire, if you're interested in finding the Ocean-born Mary house, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know right now. It took me 3 years to find it.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
If you Google Ocean-born Mary house, it's going to take you to the Henniker Historical Society, whether or not you use Apple Maps or Google Maps, because that's how the owners of the location have it set up. If you do not know the exact address, you're not going to find it. I promise.
Here's another thing. The actual house, this is honest truth. The actual house Ocean-born Mary did live in is in Little Compton, Rhode Island now, I think.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah, it was moved.
And a lot of people don't know that little fact, and this is why I like you, Tom. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that little fact. So the house that you go and visit, what you're basically seeing is you're seeing the placard where the house originally stood.
Yeah.
That's it. So
yeah, she I got a grave rubbing of hers from her grave, and the only little thing, it doesn't say anything on the grave, like it has that little Ocean-born Mary metal plaque next to it, unless somebody stole it. But
it was not there when I went to the Ocean-born Mary grave last year.
Yeah, somebody took it.
Yeah, we went out to Henniker and we got the opportunity to investigate the Henniker College. And and we went out to the cemetery first. We're trying to locate the grave of Ocean-born Mary. I thought I found it because it had the right first name, right last name, but I didn't see the placard.
Yeah, Mary Wallace, big tall stone, 94th year or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
near the
gotta be it.
Back of the cemetery. Yeah.
And so we found it, and I'm like, this has got to be it. But I know there's supposed to be some kind of placard. I'm assuming someone stole it.
Yeah, they probably have put 100 of those up. There's probably
Oh, it
100 of
wouldn't
them
shock
floating
me.
around in people's rooms.
So I want to touch on some of the books that you've written because you have written 18 books with your wife Arlene. I don't want to
Mhm.
leave her out. I know she's not here, but you two have written 18 books. I assume and counting. I assume there's more coming.
Yeah, I'm working on 3 more right now that we're gonna do.
You wild man, 3 at once?
Yeah,
Really? Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah. Because I started one, and they wanted me to do one. I was already working on one, and we trying to get enough info to be able to finish the book. And in the meantime, you're starting on get enough info to start another one, and then the publishing company goes, "Hey, can you do a book on haunted lighthouses of Connecticut and Rhode Island?" And I'm like, "I guess okay."
Yeah, so the first one I want to touch on really quickly. Abandoned Villages and Ghost Towns of New England.
Hmm.
So this was my first experience of hearing about America's Stonehenge. This was actually, believe it or not, the first paranormal book I bought when I moved to New England 10 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's very
Thank
cool.
you.
So
I'm impressed.
you've got so much information here. It is insane the amount of information you pack into, I'm not going to call it a small book, but, a 200-page book almost. Like, how do you find the proper way to condense the information to make it so pertinent that it just stands out?
One, I still am a reporter and a journalist, freelance. And when you're reporting, you have so many words, so you got to get the right stuff in there. I can put, oh, and the guy wore a white pants with a green tie, and his hair was just a shovel on the right. Who cares?
Very
you know,
Fair.
Yeah, so I want to really, put in the history. I love history, first of all. So, and then all the accounts, and just without adding too much fluff, I don't make up dialogue like, and Henry said, because we wouldn't know, wouldn't, anything like
That's
that.
fair.
So I just do, go with the reporting and the experiences that people have if I can get them.
I like it. So in this book, one of the chapters that stood out to me the most was in Connecticut, actually.
Oh.
The Fairy Village.
Oh yeah.
I am not a firm believer in fairies, okay, but I have seen the whole fairy houses that people build randomly throughout the forest for whatever reason. So how did you come across the Fairy Village?
Uh, Somebody mentioned it or something like that a long time ago, but there's like one or two, maybe a few houses left. But somebody mentioned it, and I'm like, "You're kidding?" And they go, "No, it's really cool. It's been there for a long time, and we get the pictures of it. You see the pictures in there,
Yep.
and come to find out, the legend is really awesome. The guy, the lady had her husband build houses for fairies that were running amok the woods in their property." And actually, it was just some developer guy who built a mini village for his daughter to play in. But, uh, but yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, but and then it became a roadside attraction until the road was, how they always move roads. Let's divert this road over here because it's better. And so when the road got diverted, well, the roadside attraction was in the woods now. And I don't remember who said it originally, but it was pretty cool, looking into it and everything.
And there was another chapter I wanted to touch on in this book before I moved on. Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Ghost Towns of Quabbin?
Yeah, the Quabbin Reservoir. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that as well because I found that fascinating.
Yeah, after the hurricanes of '55 and the floods of 1955, the Army Corps of Engineer wanted to create two. It was two of them they created, just two cuts all the way down New England for water control, just in case. And they chose these certain areas, and in the same time, people like for the Quabbin, they want the big cities, the metropolis like Boston and all that area. They wanted water, a big water supply to feed them, and the Quabbin area looked like the best place because it was like a basin. So they took these towns and they told them, "Hey, look, we're making a big watershed over here. Sorry, guys, and the big boys need water." And they eminent domain. And it happened in Situate, Rhode Island as well. The same thing. They wanted the Providence water supply, wanted that area. It happened in Flagstaff, Maine, and places like that. So this is not uncommon. And they actually just buried the towns. They removed what they could, and they took over the whole section of land, and then they flooded the area. Some people didn't want to leave, and you can see that there was the area where certain towns, there's still places there where the remains of the buildings are, and there's great stories of all these places. And they, of course, all of a sudden you get all the legends come out, and any wild stories. Like if they had never flooded that, nobody would ever have written or found any of these really cool legends. We wouldn't have gone visiting it to see all these really cool things, like the Snow's grave there, where he had when he died, he was put in the coffin with the glass top, and he actually was perfectly preserved up until somebody broke that top. I think he died in the 1890s, and someone in the 1920s or 30s broke the glass top, and that's when his body started rotting. They took it and they brought it to the cemetery, the big main cemetery where they buried all the rest of the bodies from the Quabbin.
See, this man is like, it's like an iron trap.
I know. I'm like,
oh,
so
I love this because I am a huge history buff, and so I think that's why I enjoy your book so much, because I love history.
Oh yeah, I do too.
So the more I learn, the more I learn. Go ahead.
Oh, the story with Ace of Popcorn Snow is kind of funny because he died dragging a pig into the house on Thanksgiving, but he was a vegetarian.
That is awesome. So the second book I want to hit on real quick that I own from you is Haunted New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy this book very much. So if you get this book, guys, it is broken down like by chapter in alphabetical about different towns within New Hampshire. He goes over Rye, New Hampshire, Exeter, which was where the Exeter UFO Festival takes place every year, if you did not know, which is an amazing event. If you've not been, I'm going this year. So looking forward to that. He goes over Henniker, and I think that's where you go over the Oceanborn Mary House in this book, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that stood out to me, and your book inspired me to go here, actually, Margarita's Mexican Restaurant in Concord.
Oh yeah.
So every time I get a chance, I bring this up because everyone's like, "Oh, well, we got to do something in New Hampshire." Yeah, we're going here.
Yeah, the old jail cells and everything. Isn't that cool?
Oh, it is. When I went in there the first time, I walked in and I was like, "Okay, the cells really are here." I was like, "Well, I want to eat in a jail cell." Oh, well, it's going to be at least a 45-minute wait for that. Okay, your point. I ain't got nothing better to do.
Well, you could have robbed the Cumberland Farms. You would have been in one in 5 minutes.
I don't want to be in that kind of jail cell, brother. Because if I rob Cumberland Farms, the only thing I'm taking is the pizza. I don't want the cash.
There you go.
I do love me some Cumberland Farms pizza. I don't know what it is about it, but it's really good. But so I make sure now that I call about an hour ahead of time. I say, "Hey, I'm coming there. I want to make a reservation because I want to eat in a jail cell." But there's a lot of different legends about the hauntings of this particular place, because it used to be an old jail. I think it was the Concord Town or Concord County Jail.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I can't quite remember. It's been a while since I've read this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. And like a lot of people, I've had people who, after we wrote the book, say, "Yeah, we were eating one of the cells, and all of a sudden one of the glasses started sliding across the table."
Yeah, and I've heard this, and I've actually contacted them, and I've tried to get them to allow me to go in and investigate, and they are very hard. That's a very hard no. They're very hard pressed to let anyone in there.
Yeah, probably just a lot of places are busy. Also, if they're open 7 days a week, they don't want people running around like that scaring customers.
Fair. And which is why I offered to do it after closing time. And I was asking for just like 2 hours. That's all I wanted. But still, you got to go with what the owner wants. One thing I can tell you, for anyone out there that's just watching and getting into never trespass.
No.
Yeah, no, we don't.
We don't do that. We don't do that. That looks bad on everyone in the community, to be honest.
So have either one of you guys had activity in the restaurant in one of the sales or not in the sales?
I have.
Did you?
Not in the margaritas restaurant, no.
So when myself and I'm just gonna, I don't know what to call her, so we'll just say the other one. When we were there eating with my son, we went there for his maybe second or third birthday. Just because we happened to be in Concord already. It wasn't a planned trip to go there for his birthday. And we ordered chips and dip, of course, because you go to a Mexican restaurant, you got to get the chips and salsa. You have to. It's like a requirement. And I will eat 4 baskets of them shits myself. I'm not going to lie. But we're sitting there and we're eating, and all of a sudden, the chip basket, it shifted position completely 180 degrees.
Wow.
And I looked and I was like, did you just move that? No, I didn't touch it. I was like, I didn't think I saw your hand there, but I just had to check.
Yeah.
So I could tell you for a fact there's something there. What it is,
cool.
I don't know. But another book I want to touch on real quick, because I love the Haunted America series. My goal is to own every book in the Haunted America series, but I am not a millionaire, and there's like 200 of them.
I know there's tons of them.
There's so many, but A Guide to Haunted New England, Tales from Mount Washington to the Newport Cliffs. The way you wrote this, phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I wanted it to be like, well, Arlene and I are like, well, we could write about Boston, but it takes 45 minutes to find one spot, 45 minutes to park, and then you look at it quickly, and then, there's your day. So
it's like going to Salem.
Yeah. We wanted to have places where you could actually park your car, walk around, stay the day, whatever, and see a lot of stuff, a lot of bang for your buck.
No, and I love this book. Absolutely. For anyone in New Hampshire, this is a book I would highly recommend you get, especially if you're into the paranormal and you're looking for places that may or may not be as well known. We all know Mount Washington Hotel. We all know the Omni Mount Washington. Very famous place. But there are lesser known locations in here as well that might be easier for you to access, easier for you to get to. And I don't know, something about this whole series, but the way you wrote, like, I love this book. This is probably my favorite one that you've written that I have so far.
Oh, wow, thanks.
And by the way, that's the only 3 I've got. I had another one, but then I realized that it was a book that was based off of one of your books.
Oh, yeah, those were made for middle grade readers, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I could include that, but he technically didn't write it.
Yeah,
but,
what they did is they just made it a little more middle grade reader friendly.
Right. I think it was called Haunted Tales or something of that nature.
Yeah, it's off that book. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it was a great book still, but it's goodness, I hate the coughing thing. So let me ask you, going throughout these locations, right? And as you said, you have a journalist background as well, as far as freelance writing and stuff. What sparked you to start documenting these and then becoming an author? Like, do you self-publish? I know you go through Schiffer Publishing sometimes, correct?
Yeah, that was our first publisher, Schiffer. Then we went to History. What happened was, because I loved going to the places, I'd be like playing out in clubs, and all these people would be coming up and going, "Hey, yeah, here you go, like a ghost hunter, or you're into ghost hunt. What's a cool haunted place to go to?" And all that. So I'd be like writing places on napkins for people to go to. And then I finally thought, you know what? I might as well officially tell them where to go. Basically, and Arlene and I, we should write a book. And we said, yeah, well, we live in Rhode Island. We'll start with Rhode Island. And I did do a manuscript. I wrote this manuscript that I had written, and it really, really sucked. It was horrible. And I kept it for that reason. I still have it.
I love that.
I gave it to a few friends and said, read this, tell me what you think. And they're like, well, could use work. And when we got to the Rhode Island thing, they said, well, we would do one on a state, And I said, okay, well, I got a bunch of things I could do in Rhode Island for Schiffer. And they said, well, okay, we'll try it. Haunted books are no good. We had one about lighthouses and it didn't sell. And that one book, Haunted Rhode Island, actually started there, became the flagship of their haunted series.
Right, because I know they are very big into the paranormal publishing.
Now they are, because of Haunted Rhode Island. Yeah.
So you started that trend.
Yeah, you started it.
Yeah, and then after that, it was like boom, boom, boom. Everywhere they were going after everyone. I helped about a dozen people get published for Schiffer and History Press. Giving them the way to go and what to do. But that's how I started, because I just wanted to say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to write. So say here's a book. Go nuts.
Right. Right. I'm not going to lie to you. It took me almost 2.5 years to get my book published. So it is kind of a taboo topic, though, because, I download paranormal applications, and that's what it's all about, is, telling you which ones can or cannot work, or may not work, because nothing in this field is solid. Anything we get is hypothetical anyway. But Vicky Pepleau, I think that's how you pronounce her last name.
I think so. Don't judge us, Vicky.
Yeah, don't judge me. Look, I'm just saying, but she was gracious enough to take it on after 2.5 years of me trying to get it published. But it's weird. So let me ask you, when you got your first book published, I want to know if you felt the same way I did. Was it weird to see your name on a book?
Yeah, it was kind of exciting. It was like, wow, it came out and it just sold like crazy, because no one's ever had a Haunted Rhode Island book. And
Right.
In the Ocean State at that time, of course, people are making movies and TV shows from there. So it was a budding little region. And and Arlene goes, we're gonna have a book party for you when the first book comes out. Well, I'm still waiting for that book party.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty exciting, because of the fact that, incidentally, the cover of that book, Haunted Rhode Island, that picture was not doctored up at all. That's how, when Arlene took the picture, that's exactly what it looked like. She saw the daylight hours and the light on those trees just that way, and took that picture.
And I've seen the cover of the book, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's awesome. They didn't touch it.
It's been in my cart for a while. I've just not purchased it yet. Excuse me, guys. God, this cough.
We also wanted to write about places people could visit too, because I remember as a kid reading books of haunted houses and everything, and you couldn't go there. You go there and somebody sick their Doberman on you, or come out with a shotgun with rock salt. So I wanted to visit. I'm going to write about places that people can actually go to and experience. And then we always tell them, if you go and you experience something or whatever, just email us. Let us know what happened, what you thought.
I could tell you about some experiences that I had at American Stonehenge. I have to send you an email.
Oh, okay.
I am so curious about that place.
I'm hopefully doing a public event there in November this year. So
okay.
Looking forward to that. But no, I've got some experiences at American Stonehenge I think you would like to hear about. For sure. Cool. So you guys also, we touched on it a little bit earlier. You guys do the Dining with the Dead 1031. Yeah. And I think last year I actually almost attended one of those events. I believe it was at the Public House in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. So that place is awesome.
Oh yeah. We do the Colonial Inn in Concord too. We'll be doing that one in April. The Public House on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
In Concord, New Hampshire?
No, Concord, Mass. Yeah, I know. But the Public House is just so alive. It's got so much history, and so many people have stayed there, and lots of things that happened. It's gone through so many guises. Like it was a boarding house for women at one point, and things like that. And it was so I can see why it'd be so active. It's really cool. And Dan and Lauren help us there a lot too. So that's it's really, we get the Haunted Room 40 every time, and we bring them. They give us the ballroom, the room 40, the stables, and the Page Hall to investigate. And Arlene and I spend the night at in room 40 after we're done. But yeah, the people, they come in, you can get the tickets on Eventbrite, and then we give you a little ticket for door prizes. We give away tons of door prizes: tarot cards, T-shirts, books, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, nice.
And we have dinner. We go over the equipment. We go over a little bit of the history and haunts of the place. We break into 4 groups. Each group does about 15 to 20 minutes, cycles out until all 4 groups are done. When they're done, You put your email address down, we go over the evidence, and we send it to everyone.
See, that is awesome. And I'm not gonna lie to
I
you.
love it.
I did not know until you sent me your bio that you guys were the ones that put on that event. Because the whole reason I almost went last year is because I love doing things with Danny and Lauren.
Yeah, they're great.
And when I saw they were going, I'm like, oh, you know what? I really need to go experience this. So I think next one I will definitely be there.
Yeah, the March 17th is sold out, but we do them every 6 weeks there.
Okay, sweet. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I see we got about 3 minutes left. I'm kind of a time Nazi. Excuse me.
Yes.
So I know she's got another show to do after mine as well. Excuse me. So a few other things I wanted to touch on, just really quick questions. Old Sturbridge Village. Do you think that place is haunted?
They let us investigate it. The townhouse is haunted. The Minor Grant store is haunted. The townhouse is the name of the family town. And they let us investigate. We do book signings there during the haunted happenings there thingy they have there, the Faces by Firelight. We do about 2 to 3 book signings there every year because it's about 20 minutes from here. And they let us investigate the Minor Grant. They said things happen upstairs in the office and downstairs in the basement where they cook and everything. Pans fly off the shelves in the office. They hear voices and walking around. I go up there and there's nobody up there.
I kind of, when I went there, I felt like the old schoolhouse and the blacksmith shop. Those were the 2 places that called to me the most for whatever reason.
Yeah, the blacksmith shop's cool. I like that place.
That place is awesome.
Yeah. They're all old buildings. Some of them, very few of them were recreated, but they were taken from everywhere else. The Thompson Bank, the Minor Grant store came from Connecticut, Southern Connecticut somewhere, and that kind of thing. So it's kind of cool.
I like it. So I got 2 more questions for you, Tom. First one, what do you guys have coming up? Are there any books in the works that you can talk about? Obviously, what events do you guys have coming up? Push your stuff, man. Where can people find you guys?
Push your stuff.
Well, you can find us on www.diningwiththedead1031.com or www.tomdagostino.com. And we're actually working on a new season for a paranormal show for Paraflix and Amazon Prime. It's called The Doc Awaits, and we're going to be on several. Arlene and I are both on the on the show, and we're doing the Dining with the Dead 1031 events. We got one on March 10th at the Tavern on Main, March 17th at the Public House, and March 25th at the Carriage Inn in North Kingston. The Tavern on Main's in Chepachet, Rhode Island. And then we're working on a Colonial Inn in April, so you can go online and see them and go on Eventbrite as well.
I love that. So I typically end my podcast with 3 specific questions that I ask to every guest. So since Arlene's not here, I'm going to have to ask you to answer for both of you. So you have one place that is on your bucket list of paranormal locations. Cost was not an option. It was covered. Where are you going?
That we've never been to?
Never been.
Oh, wow. Ireland.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
We're going to go to Ireland and visit castles and investigate.
I love that. So you're going to Ireland, right? You can bring one person with you, not including Arlene. I'm going to include her as your counterpart, so you guys are a unit. You can bring one other person with you. Who are you bringing and why?
Oh, God.
And they could be alive or dead, for the record.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Who would I bring? Because we like doing these things ourselves. Alive or dead, huh?
Alive or dead.
Alive or dead. Let's see. Alive or dead? George Washington.
That's an interesting answer. I've not heard that one before.
Never heard it.
George Washington. He would. He's probably been there before, but what the heck? It'd be fun.
Hey, you know what? I'm here for it. So we got Ireland. We got Tom, Arlene, and George Washington. You got one piece of equipment that you can bring with you, and only one when you do this investigation. What piece of equipment are you bringing with you?
A reel-to-reel recorder with plenty of tape.
I love it.
Good answer.
I love it. So, Tom, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight and spending an hour with us.
Thank you.
We got to close out the show, and we have one more ad to run. If you wouldn't mind hanging out in the background for like 5 or 6 minutes, I like to do one final off the air question, and then I will get out of your hair.
Okay. No problem.
Thomas, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. This is a huge honor to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you. Pleasure's all mine, really. I was looking forward to this.
Yes, and I would love to have you back on at a later day when Arlene's feeling better.
Oh, no problem. Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm going to drop you down. Oh, he was cool. Very cool.
I love that show. Dude is so full of knowledge. Like steel trap up here. I can't remember what I did this morning for the most part.
And he remembers all that. Wow. 2,000 locations. That just floored me.
That is mind blowing.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
I know, before the show, you didn't know too much about him.
No, I had to research, and I did, and I was like, "Dang, oh, yeah."
No, he's phenomenal. Like that was an excellent conversation, and I'm hoping at some point this year to finally get to meet him. Maybe whether or not it's at one of the Dining for the Dead 10301 events.
So you're like you're up there close to him. I'm not.
You're not important here, Gwen. I'm the one fanboy.
I know it. I do love it up there.
But guys, we're gonna go ahead and let you go because I know that Gwen's got another show to do, and I gotta drop in the background to ask Thomas my final question. But that was the Paranormal Unveiled podcast with Thomas D'Agostino, paranormal investigator, researcher, author, entrepreneur. Basically, he builds his own instruments. I've got like he dabbles in everything, and
he doesn't sell them. I was like, what, really?
And I'm here for it. But I feel like that was an amazing conversation. And guys, I will see you next week where my guest is paranormal investigator Thomas Donahue. 2 Thomases in a row. I will see you guys next week. Same spooky time, same spooky network. Paranormal Unveiled. We're signing off.
Good night, everyone.